As I mentioned on social media during the week, this week's Wednesday Ramblings is being recorded on Saturday morning. And because I was on retreat and didn't have access to Zoom, this week is the seventh and final week of the message series, The Law or the Spirit of the Law. This week we have two very apocryphal readings from the book of Daniel and from the Gospel of Mark, both of which talk about some of the cataclysmic events that might occur before the coming of the Messiah. That's unfortunately caused a great deal of concern down through the ages as various events have happened and people have begun to believe that this was the end of time. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because it might have been necessary for them to be aware of changes or what's happening in the world around them. But to try to be prophetic and say that this is what God is going to do, especially since Jesus told us only the Father knows the day and the hour, seems a little bit off center. However, to be fact people, faithful, available, contagious, and teachable, it means that each day we need to set out to do that which is available, possible for us today, not to reflect on what the future might bring, but are we really living according to the gospel today? And so we hear the story of the fig tree. We know when the fig tree is starting to ripen that summer is near. We know, especially for people like myself who are a little bit sensitive to seeds and pollen in the air, that as soon as we start to sneeze a lot, then spring is in the air. We can read the signs of the times, but frequently we don't hear the call of the Lord to be prepared. So this weekend is just drawing together all of the things we've been talking about of how we need to be open to the Lord in so many ways in order that we might be prepared for his coming, whenever it is. And whether it's my individual coming to the kingdom of God or whether it's the end of the world, doesn't really matter as long as we're ready, as long as I'm ready. So as we listen to these readings and as we're called to reflect upon what it is that God is inviting us to be part of, we need to stop and to think and reflect on what is happening. Have a great weekend, and next week, Wednesday Ramblings will be much closer to the day as we begin or as we prepare for the feast of Christ the King. And that's the reason why I have the scene behind me today. It's the Church of Christ the Priest in Kingston, and that's part of our uh, journey, part of our faith story. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care and stay safe.